Dear students, in the previous parts of Unit 1 Electrostatics, we dealt with 100 questions and answers. அன்பான மாணவ மாணவிகளுக்கு வணக்கம். என்னிடம் படிக்கும் மாணவ மாணவிகளுக்கு நான் என்றும் தரும் அறிவுரை. பயின்றதைச் சோதிக்கவே தேர்வு. அதனால் பயின்றவருக்கு ஏற்படாது மனச்சோர்வு. படித்து முடித்த மாணவ மாணவிகள் தேர்வினை முடித்து மகிழ்ச்சி அடைவர். நாட்டம் முழுவதும் படிப்பினில் இருக்க வாட்டம் போயிடும் தேர்வினில். நன்கு படிப்போம், நலமுடன் வாழ்வோம். நன்றி. Now we are going to see the questions and answers one by one of the third part of Unit 1 Electrostatics. Plus 2 Physics, Unit 1, Electrostatics. Now we will see the answers for the questions 101 to 103. Question number 101. Gauss law states that if a charge Q is enclosed by an arbitrary closed surface, then the total electric flux pi E through the closed surface is given by the equation phi E equal to integration over the entire surface E vector dot dA vector equal to the charge enclosed in the surface Q enclosed by epsilon naught. Question number 102. Equation for Gauss law is phi E equal to Q by epsilon naught. Question number 103. The total electric flux through a closed surface depends only on the charges enclosed by the surface and the charges present outside the surface will not contribute to the flux. Now we are going to see the answers for the following questions. Question number 104. The total electric flux is independent of the location of the charges inside the closed surface. Question number 105. Gauss law is another form of Coulomb's law. Question number 106. The electric field is 0 everywhere inside the conductor. Question number 107. There is no net charge inside the conductors. Charges reside only on the outer surfaces. Question number 108. The charges must reside only on the outer surface of the conductors. Now let us see the answers one by one to the questions 109 to 112. Question number 109. The electric field outside the conductor is perpendicular to the surface of the conductor and has a magnitude of sigma by epsilon naught, where sigma is the surface charge density at that point and epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space. Question number 110. The equation of the electric field to the infinite charged wire is given by E vector is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught into lambda by r into r unit vector. Question number 111. The electrostatic potential has the same value on the surface and inside of the conductor. Question number 112. The electric field inside a charged spherical shell is 0. Next we are going to see the answers for the questions 113 to 116. Question number 113. The electric field inside both hollow and solid conductors. The electric field inside, important, inside both hollow and solid conductors is 0. Question number 114. Whatever be the charges at the surfaces and whatever the electrical disturbances outside, comma, the electric field inside the cavity is 0. Question number 115. A sensitive electrical instrument which is to be protected from external electrical disturbances is kept inside this cavity, and this is called as electrostatic shielding. Question number 116. Dash cage is an instrument used to demonstrate a electrostatic shielding effect, and that is Faraday cage is the instrument used to demonstrate electrostatic shielding effect. Now we are going to see the answers to the questions 117 to 120. Question 117. During lightning, comma, the charges flow through the body of the conductor to the ground with no effect on the person inside the bus. Question number 118. Charging without actual contact is called as electrostatic induction. Question number 119. The conducting sphere is connected to the ground through a conducting wire, full stop. This is called grounding. Question number 120. A dielectric is a non-conducting material and has no free electrons. Now we are going to see the answers to the questions 121 to 125. Question number 121. The electrons in a dielectric are bound within the atoms. Question number 122. Dash, dash and dash are the examples for dielectrics. Ebonite, glass and mica are some examples of dielectrics. Question number 123. A non-polar molecule is one in which the centers of positive charge and the negative charges coincide. Question number 124. Examples of non-polar molecules are hydrogen, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Question number 125. In polar molecules, comma, the centers of the positive and negative charges are separated even in the absence of an external electric field. Now let us see the answers one by one. Question number 126. Examples of polar molecules are H2O, N2O, HCl and NH3. Question number 127. The total dipole moment per unit volume of the dielectric is defined as polarization. That is, total dipole moment divided by the volume will give polarization. Question number 128. Polarization is directly proportional to the strength of the electric field. In question number 129, we are having the equation P vector equal to psi E into external electric field E vector. Here psi E is called a constant and it is called as electric susceptibility. Question number 130. Inside the dielectric, the net charge is 0 even in the small volume. So the dielectric in the external electric field is equivalent to two oppositely charged sheets with surface charge densities plus sigma b and minus sigma b. Full stop. These charges are called as bound charges. Now we are going to see the answers to the questions 131 to 135. When an external electric field applied to a dielectric is very large, it tears the atoms apart so that the bound charges become free charges. Full stop. Then the dielectric starts to conduct electricity. This is called a dielectric breakdown. Question number 132. The maximum electric field the dielectric can withstand before it breaks down is called a dielectric strength. Question number 133. The dielectric strength of air is 3 into 10 power 6 volt by meter. 134. Dash is a device used to store electric charge and electric energy. It is nothing but the capacitor is the device used to store the electric charges and electric energy. Question number 135. In Q equal to CV, C is the proportionality constant called capacitance. In the above equation, Q is charge, V is the potential difference between the two plates. Now we are going to see the answers for the questions 136 to 140. Question number 136. The dash of a capacitor is defined as the ratio of the magnitude of the charge to the potential difference existing between the conductors. It is nothing but the capacitance. We know C equal to Q by V. Question number 137. The SI unit of capacitance is coulomb per volt or farad. Here we know capacitance is charge by potential difference. Therefore, one unit is a coulomb per volt, or the next unit for capacitance is farad. Question number 138. Farad is a very large unit of capacitance. Question number 139. 1 microfarad is equal to 10 power minus 6 farad. Question number 140. 1 picofarad is equivalent to 10 power minus 12 farad. Now we can see the answers to the questions 141 to 145. The capacitors available in various shapes are cylindrical shape and disc shape. Question number 142. Capacitors available in various types are capacitors available in various types. In the above question shapes, now here types: tantalum, ceramic and electrolytic. Question number 143. The capacitance of the capacitor is given by the equation I already told you, C equal to Q by V, and it is now epsilon naught by D. Question number 144. Capacitor not only stores the charge but also it stores energy. Question number 145. Work done is stored in a capacitor in the form of a electrostatic potential energy. Therefore, question number 145. Work done is stored as electrostatic potential energy. Now let us see the answers one by one to the questions 146 to 150. Question number 146. The energy stored per unit volume of space is defined as energy density. Question number 147. We take photographs due to the energy released from the capacitor is called a flash capacitor. Question number 148. During cardiac arrest, we use the device called defibrillator device, and it is used to give sudden charge of a large amount of electric energy. Question number 149. Capacitors are used in the ignition system of a automobile engines to eliminate sparking. Question number 150. Capacitors are used to reduce power fluctuations in power supplies and to increase the efficiency of the power transmission. Thanks to all. Prepared by B. Ilankovan, MSc, MEd, MPhil, Principal, SSKV Boys Metric Higher Secondary School, Kanchipuram.